if it's up. It's kind of slowly, itching its way there. So let me know when you see it.
Yeah, the first thing I see is the one with the pumpkins, but it's like a pre-post, it's like 55 seconds.
Yep. And it says redirecting to YouTube, and it should be coming up. Let me know when it is.
There we go. Let me get in this sucker.
It's kind of slowly.
All right, I'm in.
Sweet pickles. All right, let me hit pause so I don't hear my annoying voice at the same time as I'm talking. All right, so I'm going to hit YouTube, and it should be coming up. Let me know when it is. There we go. All right. So let me hit record. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, hey there, all you Sinister Seekers and After Hours crew. Welcome to another amazing episode of After Hours Live and Uncut. Tonight we are doing 80s retro and murder mystery at the Sinister Soiree, Deadly Desires Unleashed. And boy, do we have an amazing lineup of guests for you this evening. But first, just to kind of give you a little bit of rundown that we're doing. So I want you to picture this. The year is 1985. The air smells like hairspray, and the dance floor throbs with secrets. We've got more glitter than a disco ball, more intriguing than a John Hughes movie, and more shoulder pads than a linebacker's closet. So what we're going to be doing is a murder mystery where we are going to be going to Reggie's party. Reggie, oh my God, he's an asshole. As you all know, you've gotten to read his bio, which I will go ahead and read his bio too as well. But first, I want you to get to know all the characters in this lovely game. So, Natasha. Natasha first, go ahead and introduce
My
yourself.
name's on it anyway, so
Exactly.
It's okay.
True that.
All right, now I got to figure out where to stop after this introduction here. So, as you all know, I'm Scarlet Banshee. Not like I need an introduction. With humble beginnings, shoveling shit at a local pig farm in a rural Midwestern town, I suffered complete culture shock when I headed off to the big city to obtain my law degree like my role model, Miss L. Woods. Now,
Damn.
My mama always said that she should have named me Grace because I tend to stumble my way into good fortune. And I met Reggie on my way to class, so I tripped over my own feet. Would you believe it? Books went flying, my coffee spilled all over my shirt, and I ended up catching my balance just in time to find out that I was right in front of his luxury car speeding down the road, and I suddenly was eating pavement.
Oh my God. All right.
So messy hair, coffee-soaked torn shirt, and all Reggie did was not even apologize, but just kind of looked at me, gently pushed my hair out of my face, behind my ear, and told me that he had an opportunity of a lifetime.
Which was?
Do I read the whole thing, or do you want me to stop at a certain point?
No, read the whole thing. This is you're introducing yourself, because remember, we got to know everything about you.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't know if we were doing it in segments or not, but okay. So soon after this, I found myself surrounded by flashing lights and peering eyes. I was wearing custom clothing, being driven around to major events. Well, basically all I had to do was play many roles and smile and look pretty. Now, I had this thing where some of my beginning roles you might have heard, hopefully you haven't, but Scarlet Bound was one role that I played, and Fire in the Hole was another one. Many more from that. But, on the plus side, playing these roles, it kept me from accidents because I really wasn't on my feet too much. So with no help to him, I worked my way up to more reputable roles in the horror genre, in movies such as The Banshee Song and Sirens of the Night.
Ooh,
I love those.
Now, if I'm going to get more roles in a family-friendly environment, no one can learn about the bodies I had to step on to get to where I am today. Now, just so everybody knows, I'm just going to clear one thing up. During Reggie's time of death, I was strutting my stuff on the red carpet. And there were hundreds of cameras pointing at me. And if you had any questions even on that, I got extra attention because I was sporting a nice edible cotton candy gown. And amidst halfway down the runway or halfway down that little red carpet, it started to rain. So I had to hustle into that building for the premiere. And so plenty of people were looking and they can alibi me.
Ooh. Damn, that was an amazing bio. So make sure everybody heard anything, write down anything, of course, that might have stand out to you that you might need to ask her about later. So that's as far as your bio. We'll go into motive and alibi later. So we have Cindy. You are up next. Introduce yourself. Welcome to the party.
Why, thank you. Well, I'm Victoria Palmer. I don't know how I can beat that story, but it was absolutely amazing. So I was once very well off. My father was an art dealer and did art sales for Reggie. And then things got a little crazy with some Reggie proposing things to my father and wanting my father to steal art for him, but he did pay my dad very handsomely. Unfortunately, the FBI got involved. I can't think of a movie, so I'm going to skip that. So unfortunately, the FBI arrested my father, and I became kind of not rich anymore, and now living a life as an aerobic instructor for a gym that's local in the LA area. And that's about all I've got.
That's great. That's a wonderful bio.
I'm pretty sure I heard about your father. Remember he was on that newsreel, Ocean's 11?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Great job. And next we have the spicy jalapeno himself, Andrew. So Andrew, introduce yourself and welcome to the party.
So good to see everyone today. My name today is Andre the Rival Son. I won't reveal my place of origin, but I will tell you this. Growing up around Russians made me crave for the vibe. A lot of them around and made me crave for that strength. When you get along with this type of people, you get always thrown around and some beating, but you kind of toughen up. And I can tell you this, there wasn't a lot of thinking to compensate this whole muscle thing with these guys. We did some shoplifting and then a couple of store holdups, but just the usual with things you would do hanging around with these bad Russian people, Anyway, we had a great time with the 70s, lots of parties, lots of beautiful women. Also things we were wild. In the 80s, we were getting wilder, having some, honest buck to put it into a few nice words.
Right.
Selling some magical white powder, whatever.
Yep.
And while making a name for ourselves, we met this guy, Reggie. He usually made some great parties, and we had a great time. And what I can tell you is when we met Reggie back in the big parties in Russia, we usually hanged out and just had a great time with him, And I can tell you this, that this guy made the whole trips to the disco very interesting. Lots of girls, lots of fun, and lots of money, and lots of champagne rolling all over the place.
He was the man.
The guy, yeah, he owned the place, and the guy was funny, but there was this particular time that I was with my crew, and we were celebrating. We made a big heist, whatever. We were kind of hanging out, and there were a few interesting people in that place, and we wanted to have their blessing on our new business opportunities, to put it in a few words. And he was at the place, but he was a bit drunk and a bit tipsy. He started acting like a jackass and kind of ruined our opportunity. So there was a little feud between us, and I can tell you that we didn't like that situation. And but this guy was still funny, you know. He invited us to his party, and we saw the opportunity to hang out after a heist we had. We were just having some beers, whatever, some champagne, and at the moment we heard some ruckus at the party, and we heard that someone was killed, but I don't know what happened. We were at the backyard. I don't know really what happened, and
I'll go over all
hoping to
that in a
fi-
little bit.
hoping to find out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right. Now we have the pimp himself, AJ. Go ahead, AJ.
All right.
Welcome to the party.
Well, thank you so much. Tonight I am Ricky Betts, a daring gambler from the, mostly popular in the underground scene of gambling. Faced tremendous amount of setbacks in my time, but my determination has made me a legend in this underground world of poker and blackjack. Reggie and I go way back, high school times. We used to run a lot of tables in Atlantic City and hustle together. And, I borrowed some money and just haven't been very successful lately. And, I owe him a lot of money. But I know that he knows I'm good for it. So.
Ooh. Okay. I got that logged in.
I don't like giving away too much about myself.
Nope.
As you can tell.
Nope. You're only going to give it away. Like you're only going to give little things and clues when we do the investigation part, when everybody asks each other questions. So, all right, Rose.
My bad.
Let's hear it. Welcome to the party.
Hi. All right. So I'm Bunny Smith, and I recently got fired from the Daily News, where I used to be a newscaster. I don't know if you guys heard of that. But yes, now I own my own little newspaper company called The Buzz. And it's getting really popular, but I need to get it up. And me and Reggie know each other from high school. And we actually dated. Yeah, we were actually an item. And
I remember that.
Yes, but did you also remember how he dumped me? I mean, maybe that.
Well, Reggie's never been too good with the ladies. He
We were
doesn't
getting
treat them well.
heavy, and he just said, "You know what? You're not my type, lady." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, he dumped me, but no hard feelings. No hard feelings. And our Reggie was pretty popular, and I wanted to, interview him and see how he was doing, so I could get something from my newspaper. But he was like, "Nope, I don't think so." But no hard feelings.
Dust it off, right?
And did something happen to him? I mean, I heard something happen, but when that happened, I was at dinner with my mom. So telling her about how terrible my life was going, how I got fired from the Daily News. But other than that, that's it. That's what I'm going to give you guys.
Ooh, okay. I got some things written down. Okay. All right. And Naomi, welcome to the party.
Thank you guys for having me. My name is Kat Banana, and I am a mystery novelist, mainly like kind of detectives and like the, husband or wife did it. But I actually grew up in the same circle as Reggie. We weren't very close, but we had lots of friends in common. We were both born into the same circle. I did have to use my family's money to start my career. So I do have that, my sister and I. And she actually used to date Reggie. So that, was some stuff that went on that even though he broke my sister's heart, Reggie and I were very cordial, but, he might have had some dirt on me for something, and I might have had something on him too. So we just kind of left it at that.
Wow, he seems like a player.
Oh, he is. Trust me.
I always
Woo.
get invited to his parties, and I've been to multiple, and we just hang out in the same circle. So, yeah, thanks for having me at the party.
All right. Okay. And now we have John. Welcome to the party, John.
Well, P.S. John, you're on mute still, and I want to point out that Ryan on the chat over here at YouTube is throwing some serious. You're getting some major compliments on your chat and look there, AJ. Just so you know.
That's all.
They're
The chat's
chatting
not
it up
popping
over
up
here.
for me. It's weird, but thank you.
I'm still on mute. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I can hear you. Your
Oh,
symbol,
can everybody hear me?
but I can hear
All
you.
right.
So,
All right, cool. So you can call me Steel Cobra.
I think we would get along great.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. You are more than welcome to be in my presence. Okay. So let's get that out right now because I do three things better than anybody.
I'm
I kick
listening.
ass. I make love to the ladies. And I'm a star. Okay. So let's make that clear to everyone here. Okay. You may have your little lives and you think you're something else, but you're not. Okay. You're not Steel Cobra. Okay. So let's make something clear. I was Reggie's bodyguard because he recognizes the skill. I was his bodyguard. I was the best damn bodyguard Reggie ever had. Okay, so let's make that clear. And I know about some of you ladies. I saw you going in and out of his, let's say, love den or whatever you want to call it. I saw each one. Natasha, I saw you. All you other girls coming in and out of that place. It's like 24/7 with Reggie. And I kept him safe. But here's the problem. Reggie fired me. Why he fired me? Because he knew I knew some dirt on him. I knew things, being his bodyguard, that he only shared with me and no one else. And now you ladies think you might have got it out of him, trying to be special and you know your lady vibes on him. But listen, you didn't. I knew the dirt, the real dirt. So that's all I have to say. I'm out.
Ooh, wow. A cocky man.
So I'd say, put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
Okay.
Well, it's right here, lady.
Well, then, Deborah, welcome to the party.
Hey, I wrote a shit ton of a bio, so I'm sorry. I didn't know how long
did
this
I.
was gonna be.
Keep going.
You're good. Do it up.
All right. So I am Carmen Santiago. My father, whose identity won't be revealed and is simply known as El Jefe, is a huge deal in South America. He drives trade from Colombia and Venezuela and parts of Brazil to the United States and other countries in the world. He's really good friends with Roberto C. Goizueta, the CEO and chairman of Coca-Cola. Needless to say, my father's connections have helped Goizueta and Coca-Cola achieve its international success. I was born in Havana, Cuba, where my father and Goizueta were friends. My father was a well-known and established economist and military man. However, in 1961, just a year after I was born, with Fidel's rise to power, Goizueta moved to the United States, and we moved to Colombia. Colombia was in their first post-Civil War era. Effects of la violencia were still felt and tensions were high. At first, my father remained neutral with the events, but as time passed, he became more and more disappointed with how the government was handling their affairs. And eventually, he met Tiro Fijo, founder and leader of La FARC. They became friends, and my father got the inside scoop to operations. My father saw the potential in the movement and took a risk, so he also joined La FARC. My father's military and economic training had no nonsense attitude, got him to raise up the ranks, and soon he was in charge of managing the economics and trade for La FARC. Then the coca boom happened in the 70s and strengthened my father's position and reconnected him to Goizueta, who was the lead at that time of legal and external affairs of Coca-Cola, and the rest is fate. Goizueta and my father built an empire. Of course, no one knows about Goizueta's relationship with my father, and that's our little secret. My father's rise to wealth and power meant that my sister and I were untouchable. So when I turned 18, I decided that I wanted to travel the world. My father made sure that I did so with protection and comfort, so I traveled under an alias, Carmen Santiago, so that no one can suspect. Then, to them, I'm just another trust fund child of a business magnate in Mexico. I've been all over South and Central America, Russia, Cuba, and China. Recently, I traveled through Europe and Africa and the Middle East. However, it hasn't just been licentious and mindless fun. My father taught me that the most valuable currency isn't money, it's information. And that I've become an expert in. I know everything there is to know about all the who's who in the important circles, from deep dark secrets to unnameable scandals, ties in secret societies, and money laundering schemes. The key is to know what information to use, when, and for what, and I walk a fine line, but do so with the utmost respect, style, and charm. Now I'm in the United States, and I've hit the jackpot. I've met with the Kennedys, the Vanderbilts, DuPonts, Fords, Rockefellers, and don't forget the Gambinos and the Genoveses. I've been invited to galas and charity events in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, Washington, and I've gone to the latest nightclubs and been flown all over the country for premieres and events. And there's no stopping me. Some producers were so captivated by my story and extensive travel experience that they say they're talking about something about maybe making a show, something maybe along the lines of Carmen Sandiego. I don't know, but we'll see where that goes. All I know is that right now I'm living the life, and I'll keep playing up the charm and fun as long as no one threatens me and my family. Because if that happens, I know enough information and have the right connections to start a war and ruin lives.
Whoa.
Damn, girl.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
we got another shout out over here on the chat too about your glasses, Farrah.
Oh, yeah?
Glasses.
That's
Yeah.
quite a
Thank you.
resume.
Oh, well, I would have to say I'm never going to be around you with a shovel and duct tape.
Yeah.
All right.
Badass girl.
That was a great bio, by the way, very detailed. And like, I love the fact that you brought the mobsters into it because I'm a mobster fan. So,
Same.
all right. Well, Steve, welcome to the party.
Oh, hey everybody. My name's Johnny Logan. I'm kind of a marine biologist slash inventor slash scientist, I guess you could say. So Reggie and I, we just really like to party because as much as I am a scientist, I like to study like partying as well. But like, I also like studying the sea, and I think it's really cool. And so I told Reggie that like my ultimate goal in life was to be Aquaman, the greatest man to ever live. I wanted to talk to the fish. So Reggie was going to like give me some money and we were going to like turn this into a thing and I was going to conquer the sea. But then he didn't like return my phone calls for a while. And I was like, dude, that's not really chill of you, man.
Oh.
So like, I don't really know what happened to him, but like, I remember the first time we met, it was on this like really big boat. Some people would call it a yacht. And there were like all of these girls there and everything. And I was like, whoa. And then this dude just comes up and he's like, hi, do you like drugs? And I was like, whoa, yeah. And then we just kind of became friends forever after that.
Yeah, the Love Boat.
That sounds like a great relationship.
The boat was
Reggie
famous.
was pretty dope.
In
No
more
pun
ways
intended.
than one. Really?
No pun intended. That was dope.
That was amazing, Steve. Very good. I love it. Now we
there
have
was some
Heidi.
of that Coca-Cola in that boat for sure.
Yeah, some Coke in the Coca-Cola too.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Heidi. Heidi, welcome to the potty.
Hi, I am
Howdy.
Luscious Lacey, and I'm one of Reggie's exes, of course, but not to be forgotten, because that's right, I'm still here. He doesn't miss me at the party. We met at Studio 54, where we danced the night away, obviously, and we had a
She
great
snorted.
time. Yeah,
I've
well,
heard that
maybe
one
a
before.
little of both, right? Of course, Reggie can't be faithful, and I can't be played that way, but he knows why I'm here, because I'm here for the party.
I love it. I love Studio 54, by the way, too. What a place. There should be a place like that now.
I was gonna say 51.
That's Area 51.
I know. That's
What
I
a
would name
party
my-
that would
If I
be.
had a bar, that's what I would name it.
That's where the real party is at.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be dancing with aliens, and us women would find ourselves conceiving like hybrids by the end of the day. So then we have, last but not least, Danielle. And Danielle, thank you for being here. Love you, and welcome to the party. You're on mute.
You're muted, darling. There we go.
I'm unmuted right now. Okay,
There you go.
good. Just checking. So I am Miss Felicia Gray. I met Reggie in the Viper Room in 82 while he was wheeling and dealing, whatever you call it, I guess. I am a millionaire country club tennis instructor. We dated for a hot minute back then, and he conned me into selling my jewelry collection and then ran off with the profits. I have never seen or heard from him again. And now I am going back through the country club records to find where he might have ran off to.
Ooh. Wonder if
like
you're
a good
gonna
sleuther.
wonder if you're gonna catch up with him here at the party. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
So let me give all of our people at home just a little victim bio of Reggie. So Reginald Reggie Richmond was the life of every party and the envy of every guest. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth and a knack for causing trouble, Reggie inherited the Richmond family fortune and made sure everyone knew it. With his signature white suit, flashy gold chains, and a personality as big as his bank account, Reggie was always the center of attention. He loved to throw extravagant parties like the one that we're at right now at his luxurious mansion, inviting the creme de la creme of society to back his opulence. Now, Reggie's hobbies included showing off his expensive cars, flaunting his latest art acquisitions, and sharing wild stories of his globe-trotting adventures, most of which were likely exaggerated or entirely fabricated. Despite his larger-than-life persona, Reggie had a knack for making enemies, whether through his arrogance, his relentless flirting, or his habit of revealing other people's secrets at the worst possible moments. Now, at the party, this is what happened. Reggie was found collapsed in the grand ballroom, clutching a half-empty champagne glass. The guests, all of you, were initially too busy dancing and mingling, so we think, to notice his distress. By the time someone realized Reggie was not just talking a dramatic rap, it was too late. The paramedics confirmed what the faint smell of almonds suggested: cyanide poisoning. So, all of you are suspects. Now, first, I want you to go ahead and, again, we'll start with, what's your crazy name again?
Scarlet Banshee.
Scarlet Banshee. So, Scarlet, I want you to go ahead and say what your possible motive would be for if you did kill him, but also, do you have an alibi and what is it? And try to be very convincing.
Okay. Well, for starters, this douche canoe told me that he was going to release the names of my, how can I put this? Exotic and slightly erotic videos.
Okay.
Out to the people that have been trying to cast me in a more family-friendly role. And, I can't have that. Can't have it. I went through all this trouble to eliminate the competition so that I could just get up that ladder. Now, granted, for starters, I would think that you guys would all understand that this hair is, naturally red, and with that comes my temper, and I don't think that I could get rid of him in a less violent manner. Now, granted, that being said, it's pretty easy to see that no one's you could possibly me. I was on the red carpet. Everybody saw me, cameras galore. Heck, her news people, I've been running from her paparazzi for weeks from her newspaper, but they're still there. So not to mention, how could you miss me? It's not like I was strutting up and down a little black dress like everybody else. No, I was wearing mother cotton candy. It was simple, bitches. And let me tell you, when it started to rain, everybody got real interested in what was going to happen underneath that because it just started disintegrating. So,
I bet you were the life of that party as well.
Exactly. So ask anybody that was there. You couldn't have missed me.
And okay, all right, we'll go there with that. Okay, and let me pick someone we'll go out of order. So let's go with Rose. Rose, what would be your motive for offing Reggie? But what's your alibi if you really didn't?
Well, like I said, I just got fired from the dating news and I was trying to run my new business, which was going well until, Reggie got back in. And I wanted to do a scoop on him. And obviously that didn't go well because he denied me. That was going to be my big thing. So
you were really banking on that, his help.
Yeah, just so I could rebuild everything because, I just got fired from my biggest job. So that was my biggest scoop. So.
And where were you? What was your alibi?
Well, like I said, I just got back into town and my dear old mom wanted to have dinner with me. So I was having dinner with her. And you know how moms go on and on, want to know about life. So this was the whole night. This was my whole night. Me and moms talking and drinking.
Okay. All right. Deborah. So what would be, granted, your bio should say a lot about the motive, but to kind of put it for everybody at home as well, what would your motive be and what would your alibi be if you didn't do it?
So the problem with Reggie is that he's a loose cannon. The sudden inheritance got to his head. He's super sloppy. He's arrogant. And honestly, he's been endangering himself and all the elites by spilling secrets laced with lies. And normally I wouldn't care because this is, what we do. But somehow he has found out the truth of my identity and who my father is. And I can't risk him exposing me and putting my family in jeopardy. But it wasn't me because at the time I was at the party and the Chippendales were performing. And so I went to the show because I can't miss the Chippendales. And I was with my friend Cher Butler because we know each other from like the circles. I'm a socialite. So me and Cher were there when we were watching the Chippendales. And that's when we heard the screams. And everybody ran frantically, but we wanted to know what happened. And that's when we ran toward this big crowd. And in the middle, we pushed our way through. And that's where we saw him laying on the floor, foam in the mouth. Looked like poison, but it's what happens to rats. So seems suitable.
Okay. Wow. All right. Danielle. So what would your motive be with everything you and Reggie have been through? But again, what would your alibi be?
My motive would be that he made me sell or cons me in selling my jewelry collection and ran off with the money. But at the time when he was being murdered, I was teaching a tennis lesson. So there was no time for that.
Okay. All right. And Naomi.
Yeah, so I mentioned that, my sister had dated Reggie and he did break her heart. However, I actually found out that he cheated on her. And when I confronted Reggie, he started to pretty much accuse me of plagiarizing one of the characters in my book. And so I didn't want that getting out because I finally got something published. And so I just kind of kept it a secret, even though I should have told my sister. And then anyway, some other friend told her about Reggie cheating. So Reggie knew I didn't rat him out for that. So he never said anything about the so-called plagiarism. That didn't happen. So, but poor Reggie, it is very sad. But when the whole incident happened, I was actually at the bar getting another drink. I was talking to the bartender.
Oh, so you had someone you were talking to. Okay,
Yeah.
that could
Mhm.
vouch.
Yeah, yeah. The
Since
bartender
everybody
was
knows,
taking my drink order.
in our YouTube chat, we already have one vote for the ex-bodyguard.
Oh, well then let's go to the ex-bodyguard, Mr. Bodyguard of them all, the bodyguard.
Steel Cobra.
So with everything that you and Reggie went through, I mean, tell us what would your motive be? But I mean, where were you when all this was going on?
First, let's make something really clear here. Reggie was being a punk. So I had to check him. Now, I didn't hurt him. I could have hurt him. I could break any part of your body with just my thumb. Okay? But I didn't do it. All right? I want to make it clear. All right? So when I called him a punk in front of his ladies and some of those Russian guys that were there too, you know, they partied way too hard for me, in my opinion. I just said, okay, man, I'm out of here. And he says, yeah, you're out of here because you're fired. So he fired me just right in front of everybody, embarrassing Steel Cobra. So yeah, I could have done something. I didn't want to do anything. So I just went onto the dance floor, dancing with some of the ladies. Next thing I hear is somebody screaming, a whole bunch of screams. And I go through there and there's Reggie dead. And I said, well, hey man, if you had me, this never would have happened. So that's my alibi.
Ooh, that's a good point to make. Very good point. All right, Cindy. I mean, with what you went through with him, tell us, I mean, what would be your motive? And again, where were you? Where were you?
So there's a little something I left out that I was keeping, but I'm going to reveal it now. So Reggie had no idea that I had or that my father had a daughter. So he didn't even know who I was. And I got hired by Reggie, and I was actually helping out with the party and stuff. And so I decided, you know, he's very demanding, always wanting drinks, always wanting, you know, fun stuff. So I went ahead to satisfy him and make him happy. I went in and went into the kitchen with some others to get some more drinks and food so that I can help him be satisfied so he wouldn't be so asshole-ish, I guess you can say. So yeah. But yeah, he does not know who I am or who my father is.
Oh, okay. So, where were you?
I was in the kitchen when it all happened. Yeah, I was getting some more drinks and food with some others.
Was anyone there?
Yep, there was a couple others.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we have Steve. Steve, tell us, I mean, what would be your reason? Granted, it sounded like you guys had a great relationship, but if, what would it be? And where were you at the time that Reggie passed out and died of cyanide poisoning?
So yeah, we like to party, but he was also like sort of my dealer, and like sometimes me and money, we don't really find each other when we need to, you know? It's like it's harder than love. And so he may have had a grudge against me for that. I don't know, but we still hung out and had a pretty good time. And yeah, he lent me a little bit of money for my invention, you know, so I could, you know, be the best Aquaman I could be. But he was like super excited about it, I thought. But I don't really know. But like when he died, I felt it spiritually. Because, like, I was in the water with all my fish friends, and, like, they told me something was wrong. And I believed them. And then I found out what happened now, and it's like, whoa, not cool. But, like, yeah, so I have lots of witnesses as to where I was.
And what was your invention, if you don't mind me asking?
I want to, like, put this on my head and then, like, talk to the fish.
Ooh,
so, like,
okay.
We could like converse and be like, "What's up, fish? Don't go here. There's people fishing," and they'd be like, "Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Johnny. And then I would be a millionaire because everybody wants to talk to the fish.
Can I ask a clarifying question? When you said there were lots of witnesses, were any of them human?
Right.
I mean, what is it to be human? I mean, if you don't count that family that was walking by that was really scared, I mean, there were lots of witnesses.
Okay, so there was a family that was watching you talk to the fish, pretty much.
They were pointing and laughing a lot, but like, I think they were just jealous.
Could be. I'm jealous of you. I'd love to talk to marine life.
I just like to see Aquaman.
Like, I'm working on it.
If
That's
you
like
come,
the whole thing.
You come at me looking like that, buddy, I will donate every penny I got.
Ooh, you might have someone else to invest.
You can have
in
me
your...
on retainer if you know what I mean.
And we have Heidi. Heidi, or should I call you Madonna? Because you definitely fit the bill. And what would your reasoning be if you wanted to off Reggie? But where were you when it happened?
I mean, Reggie has it coming from me, but let's just say he's better off alive for me than dead because I get to come to these fantastic parties. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to ski a little bit down the snow slopes. And, you know, I can't go anywhere without being noticed. I'm a hot mess express, and people take a lot of pictures because I do photos for a living. Obviously, when I'm doing my modeling shoots, people recognize me. And I'm almost 6 feet tall. You're not going to miss me. So there's pictures everywhere of me for sure.
Wow.
I didn't do it.
Wow. Okay. And Mr. Pimp.
Fantastic, by the way. She shot me a few times. Let me tell you, she's good. Oh, just so you guys know, Ryan over here in the chat again, he says, man, that must have been some good weed with you talking to the fishes.
That's just my love of nature, man. It's
and then we got
just
he had that hydroponic weed. I think it's weed, not weak, and that's dude 271.
Well, yeah, it was probably laced with something to hallucinate. All right, so AJ, what in the world? Why would you kill him? But where were you when it happened?
Well, let's just put it this way. I went back to our hometown for a week to see my folks and everything like that. And the first weekend, I hear Reggie has my girlfriend in Miami Beach. You know?
Ooh, party foul right there.
That's a big party foul.
Reggie's that kind of guy, but it was never happened with us. So it was a little disheartening to say the least.
Wow.
But you never get tied down, homie.
Yeah.
Where is your girl at now?
I'm not back yet.
With me.
And where were you when all this happened?
Ooh. We could say I was at my brother's house.
We can
say.
The alibi I've ever heard.
I guess I was at Wendy's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went out. Some people
fries.
might know, but I disguise myself. So,
ooh,
yeah, you gotta watch those paparazzis, man.
So, would anybody even know you because you disguise yourself? That's interesting. Keep that in mind, everyone.
Just my family.
All right, and Andy, what would be the reason then you would off Reggie and tell us where you were when it happened?
So, I mean, what I had against this guy is that he most of the time was messing with my business. You know, he was actually interfering in what I was doing at the moment, and that was quite uncomfortable. But hey, you know, you gotta wing it. So we got along together nicely. I mean, the guy was a jokester, and it was funny. So at the moment we were hanging at his house, you know, and having some vodka shots ready, adding some spice to the party, just hanging out with the crew. We had just recently made a good deal, so we were celebrating and wanted to include Reggie in the party, you know, have some great time with that guy. But I mean, we were just preparing the vodka shots, whatever, and at the yard we were having a good time. and we heard some sort of thing going on inside the house. We were like, what is going on here? Are they coming after us or what? What's up here? You know, we just had some good business being done, so we were a bit shaky, but it was okay. It was okay. We were having fun and whatever, but we heard some loud noise, and I was hoping none of my guys got into any fight or whatever, because I don't recall getting into a fight. You know, I'm cool with Reggie, even though he got in the way of a really good business opportunity. So what can I say?
Okay. Huh. All right. So now we're going to do our investigation round. So first of all, any of you want to ask each other any questions to kind of get any more information?
I just want to say I'm legitimately terrified of like most of you in this room.
Could be.
I'm kind of suspect that it could be a lot of you, maybe all of you, and maybe I was next. I don't know, but I'm a little bit scared.
So our chat's blowing up over here.
Well, let's go to the chat. So chat, all of our wonderful watchers and sinister seekers, does anyone want to ask any questions to our characters?
Yeah, because right now, I mean, the bodyguard was in the lead, but now they're saying, Fish Boy might be able to, but they really don't like AJ because his hair suddenly changed and nobody with that hair could be trusted, is what they said. Then they said Dolphin Boy is sketch from Unfiltered Rise. And then Marcus Palmer thinks that maybe you two are together on it. So Fish Boy and Hairman.
Ooh.
So, and then he said the guy with the disguise has something to hide.
AJ's putting his hair back on.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, no, he's not it. The hair wins.
I'm trying to think if I had any questions.
There's definitely something fishy around this guy, this Aquaman guy.
What? Where did the bodyguard, Mr. Bodyguard? Where did you say you were? Where were you at when it happened?
I was just on the dance floor, dancing with the ladies. So there's plenty of ladies that could say I was putting moves on them that they've never seen before. Michael Jackson is nothing on me.
I haven't heard any ladies vouch for you yet, though, dude. Like, there's tons of ladies here, and no one's been like, yeah, I was there.
Well, I was on the red carpet, so, and I just think if you have somebody that's that much of a prick, you'd probably remember, you'd be like, man, this asshole from the club last night.
Hey. Whoa.
I mean,
you're just
got a good point.
You're jealous. You've always been jealous. And that's the problem.
What do I have to be jealous for? I can get whoever I want. I don't need to be jealous. And
it's never the loud ones.
Yeah, ever. So I can't remember her name, but pretty in pink down here with the new
Rose.
Okay. You said you were with your mama, but where at? Were you at a restaurant or were you at her house? Or
at a restaurant having dinner and drinks.
Okay.
Do you have a receipt to prove that?
Or video surveillance? Is there? Do they have a camera in the restaurant?
Actually, a lot of people saw us at the restaurant and asked because my mom was pretty loud. So
Okay. Anybody else have any questions before I start going to each one of you to tell me who you think it is?
I have a question.
I don't know. I'm
Miss
kind of
Tennis
afraid
Lesson.
of Carmen Sandiego over here.
Okay.
I have a question for Miss Tennis Lesson over here. You were playing like tennis at night? Like you never really explained because this party was at night. Is that correct?
Well, it's also Billy. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't back her up.
It started at 8 p.m.
So
I'm just saying they're rich. They can have indoor tennis courts. I got your back.
Teach night lessons.
But
maybe you're working together. Maybe you're working together with.
I'll bring my racket.
You are a racket girl.
That's a good question, though. So you do
Tennis
teach night
lesson
lessons
at night. I'm not buying it. Explain yourself.
The tapes were real, so she's honest.
Hey, I was there just to swing in too, buddy.
Yeah.
I was teaching a night lesson. People
Okay,
also
so
have-
were you out on a court, an outside court with lights,
I
or were you
was
indoor?
with lights. It was nice and bright. You know,
Yeah.
people who
Wait.
have tennis courts have appropriate
no
lighting.
cameras?
Who were you teaching? What were their names?
Just check the tapes from the surveillance.
Billy
You're gonna
Joe
find-
and Bob
Reggie-
Thornton.
Reggie's famous
I
for
was,
making
oh my god,
new
I was
doubles
actually just gonna
tournaments.
say Billy Bob and like Jethro or something.
There you go.
That's so
I can do
fake.
that sometimes. It's a gift.
Are they
She
your
is so
regular
suspect.
customers, or were they new ones?
They were regulars.
Did you
I
stamp
know what
that
that means.
that coupon to get like the 5th lesson free?
Oh no, it's something else that she gets free.
Cindy
Okay.
wants to.
Whoa, dude.
I'm getting into tennis, man.
Cindy
Hey,
wants
fish
to
fry.
ask Carmen Santiago. Let Cindy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cindy, go ahead and ask Carmen Santiago. You have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, she seems a little suspicious to me. I'm sorry, but she's got all these mobs and gangsters and everything. Like, what is your real story? I'm really not believing some of your stuff. I think you're more deep into the gangsters and the mobster side.
Her hands are
Ooh.
dirtier than she makes it seem they are.
Exactly.
You can't grow up in that
Exactly.
life and not be good for something.
Well, this is
Exactly.
coming from the person who completely fooled the guy, and he doesn't even know that you're the daughter of your father. Like, he doesn't even know who you are, and you were in the kitchen.
Ooh.
Who knows what kind of connections you have in that kitchen, madam? All right, I wasn't in there, so maybe you and I don't know, maybe even Naomi, who was in the bar. Like,
Ooh.
y'all, like,
Now,
I don't know
Miss
what's going on with
Santiago
you.
or whatever, where were you at again? I can't remember what yours was.
Chippendales, babe.
Now that I can vouch for.
Oh.
Butler.
I would have been at Chippendales too had I been there.
But I thought the Chippendales were at his house.
We were at the
Performing.
party.
Oh, I don't
Right.
remember.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So you
Oh,
would
but
say you were at the
Oops, I
Chippendales.
wasn't there.
Well, the
Apparently, I
Chippendales.
don't remember most of this party. Like, what?
Remember, there
He
was a
over by
Chippen.
the fish tank
was
just
the
going
best.
to
There's a
town.
trail of snow there. In your
Remember,
nose.
the Chippendales were there,
Free
and
mahi,
Cher,
white powder.
even Cher Butler, who was a Playboy playmate from 1985, was there.
And she was with
Whoa.
me.
Oh.
So
Reggie's
did
Carmen was
anyone
getting down.
doubles tournament?
did anyone mingle with Cher Butler besides you, Carmen?
I was taking her photos.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is that all you were doing?
Well,
We're gonna need to
there
see
may
those
have been a
photos for
snowstorm.
evidence.
That lens was real foggy a couple times, let me tell you. We had
Well,
Let's hope you weren't photographing a corpse or something with cyanide. You know?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with. Let me pick.
Marcus says everyone was so blown out on cocaine. It's awesome.
Yeah, nobody knows shit, right?
Yeah.
the 80s.
What
it's
party?
the 80s.
Let's see. Cindy.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the killer?
I am tossed between two. I'm tossed between the bodyguard and Miss Carmen Santiago.
Bodyguard and
I
Carmen.
knew it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Okay. And Danielle, who do you think is the killer?
I think it's a tie between the disguise over here
Okay. The gambler.
and the fish boy. Yeah.
The fish boy.
Whoa.
Okay.
So
When it's
rude.
someone sleeping with the fishers or something.
Mm.
And with the
Okay,
fishes.
so Dolphin
Good
Dan and Deborah over
That's
here, they're gonna
right.
have a thing
Bestiality,
going.
dude. I don't
Russians
vibe with
can
that,
party.
man.
Hey,
Oh
that's,
my
that's
God.
a tell right there. Some,
All
that's
right.
when
Those
snow-
mermaids are for.
Let me write this down. Rose, who do you think did it?
I definitely think it's Carmen only because I got like, oh wait,
You got a vibe from her?
like a bad vibe, like the way
Ooh.
mobsters and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Naomi, who do you think did it?
So I also am, it's between two people, either ex-girlfriend Rose in all pink I just always go for the ex-girlfriend. And Carmen, I mean, I'm sorry, you called me out too. I didn't do nothing. So what are you trying to put on me?
Ooh, okay. Ooh, we got a little fight. All right, Natasha, what is it? Tell me who it is.
Madonna did it because she is an ex and they get along so well that she could have gotten close to him. And poison is a method that women use and not men.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's an interesting take
I know
on that.
Rose has a sketchy alibi. And I don't know. I feel like if, Deborah was going to do it, she probably would have laced his cocaine before it got shipped to him or something.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point too. Okay. All right. Mr. Bodyguard.
All right.
Who did
this guy he's too obvious. I mean, come on, and the drug guy, he's way too obvious with the disguise. But what if he was working with Carmen and they were working together to maybe Carmen was like, hey, let me help you out a little bit with some of your drug dealing and everything. So I think those two were working together.
So you think Carmen and the gambler?
I'll give you a better deal on your coke if you off this guy?
Absolutely. Okay. So Carmen, he would be the new.
He doesn't seem intelligent enough to pull it off, but yeah.
I heard a good deal on coke, and I'm very interested now.
I'll tell you this, buddy. I'll tell you this.
That's what I think. They're in cahoots.
Well, Andy has that good stuff from Russians too, so we might need to try that
for everyone.
So, Andy, who do you think it is?
Vodka shots.
I mean, I'll tell you this fish guy that he probably bought that white powder from us, so he's definitely innocent. I mean,
okay.
on my,
it can't be him. He's a customer.
Yeah, exactly. He knows what's good. So probably I'm going with Natasha. I mean, there wasn't any red carpet around. I mean, where were you? I mean, you were.
I didn't say I never said I was at the party.
And you're mentioning something important. I mean, the whole thing of cyanide being a method used by girls. I mean, that's true. I mean, so.
But am I your average girl? I mean, let's think about this. I'm more of a blunt force trauma type of gal.
Ooh, I can probably second that. Yeah.
And here's another thing. I'm also doubting of this girl from Colombia. I mean, you mentioned your father is a really big shot, and probably some guys from Cartagena, and probably someone similar to that guy from that Tom Cruise movie, and perhaps you.
But wouldn't she be more like she might be more of like a gun violence kind of gal?
She might have even known Pablo.
Isn't gun violence kind of their gig?
She might have even known Pablo.
Yeah, why would you waste cocaine to lace it to kill somebody? Like, it's just that's a bad business decision.
Well, ways.
I got your back, Deborah.
This fish guy isn't wasting cocaine. He's keeping it all to himself. So that's good.
True.
Yeah,
I would definitely share with everybody if they just asked. I'm a very loving man.
It's a tell that he's having a good party.
All right.
Over the fish tank like he's feeding them.
Yes.
You
and
the fishies.
I've seen it.
All right. So Heidi.
Yes. I say Deborah. She's been a little quiet. It's never the loud ones, and it's gotta be a woman. And she was concerned.
Absolutely.
And he jacked her stuff. Yeah, he jacked her stuff, man.
That is a good point. I forgot what her alibi was. What was your alibi?
Yeah.
Tennis lady. She's a tennis lady.
Yeah, tennis lady. I'm still on. I'm thinking.
Okay. All right.
She's putting off a vibe, though. I'll give her that.
AJ, who do you think it is?
Well, I'm gonna go to the two that nobody has even thought of.
Ooh. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Danielle's character and Naomi's character.
And Naomi.
They seem like they've been in the shadows a little too long. Nobody's thinking about them.
Oh, and you think like their quietness might be the telltale. Okay.
Naomi was on my list, but I couldn't remember anything about what she said.
Okay. So what is it? What does
Way too
everybody
much
say?
information.
What does everybody say as a final in the chat? So I want to
Um,
hear. I want to see
yeah.
what your all's final is. Ryan, everybody that's in there. I can't read all the
Yeah,
names.
Ryan, Dude, Marcus, Lighter Side of Hans. I can't tell who that is. Who says that AJ looks like Brett Michaels?
Oh my God!
There's some guy
Actually,
from
he
Poison.
does. Dude, he does. He does. That's a good. That's a compliment, AJ. So what's everybody saying?
Says it's Thor.
Thank you, Thor. There
Alright.
you go.
What's the final? Maybe if I type it in there, it'll give them.
We're posting ours in there too. Hold on. Let me get it.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
what's
I was just talking smack.
Oh, okay.
no, just the people that are in the chat, like not you guys, but like anybody that's watching. Go ahead and tell us who they think that it is. And but yeah, we didn't go to Fish Guy. Fish Guy, who do you think it is?
Himself.
So I'm like pretty sure that it's the bodyguard because he's like super aggressive and I just it's not super chill, man. He just seems like he might snap one day and he'll just do
Poison?
it.
No way.
Yeah,
He's more like a
because
rage monster.
But
yeah,
that would
exactly.
be the
That's why
blood
you
trauma.
wouldn't suspect him. It'd
That would be the
perfect
total
crime.
That would be the total opposite for him though, because he's a bodyguard. So he's used to beating up, shooting,
Yeah,
etc.
I
So
didn't
then
say
he
he
would
was
be like
stupid.
a far
He's
off.
a pretty smart guy. He just has a rage problem.
And he has access.
No, I
that
don't.
nobody else has.
Can I ask a question about
What?
Reggie? Can I ask a Reggie question?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that he was found like with a champagne glass. Obviously, that's what happened. Did it mention where he got it from? Did he go up to the bar and get it? Did somebody deliver it to him?
The champagne glasses, each and every one of you got a champagne glass when you were there.
Okay. So it would have had to have been somebody that he trusted to get close. I don't think he would let. Oh, we got 2 votes bodyguard, 1 vote AJ.
Okay. And here you guys pretty much it's Carmen that is what you guys are all picking
Yes.
Oh, we
which
got
is
1 vote
crazy.
tennis chick.
out. Tennis chick. Okay.
Tennis
And yo,
chick,
don't you
right.
love to be called the tennis chick?
We got another bodyguard.
All right. So I'm going to count down from 5 and the murderer will go ahead and let themselves be known. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It was Fish Guy.
Oh.
Dude, that was awesome because a lot of you went for Carmen. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 or 6 people in here that said you.
Had he sounded more intelligent, I would have considered it. The whole fact that it was poison, that's like a woman's method. I didn't think anything. And how can he orchestrate anything? He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
They do everything.
Dang.
Does
So
he try
Fish
to?
Guy, Fish Guy, what
Dang.
was the reason then that you offed Reggie? And where did you get the cyanide?
Yeah.
So where I get my drugs is sometimes kind of blurry, but like whenever I
I thought it was
ask, I'm just
cocaine.
like,
It was an
I was
accident.
just like, hey, could you give me something that might like put someone to sleep for like a really long time? And they're like, yeah. And I
I'm
was
trying
like,
to get you out
cool.
of first degree murder here, buddy. You just say it's both white. You just say, I thought it was
Yeah,
cocaine
man.
and it was an accidental overdose. You second degree
No,
murder.
man.
you're-
He wanted more money because like I kept taking money for the invention and like it wasn't working out. And like he kept wanting more money from me. And I was just like, I can't really get the money that he wants. So it's just like if he wasn't here anymore, he wouldn't be asking me for that money and I wouldn't have to give it to him. So it's like I get to keep working on my stuff and then like he's gone.
An obstacle, just an obstacle.
And you still don't have money though. Who's going to give you money for the invention?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, now you don't have any money.
Yeah, he's
Or
dead.
did you take some money when you were at the house and after you killed him?
Who do you think convinced him to have that girl's jewelry sold for the money?
No.
Zing.
Tennis
Yeah.
girl.
I'll tell you this.
Did you hear that?
Made all the...
Oh my gosh, did you have a tennis bracelet in your collection?
Yeah.
Look at that, Danielle. He
That
was like
sneaky
the culprit
bastard.
behind everything with Reggie, too.
So now she's gonna beat him to death with her racket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Are we
circle
able
of
to
life.
say who we
lesson.
actually are in this game, or should we not?
Yeah, you can.
What?
You can.
I'm the detective.
Oh.
Oh.
I
Did
didn't
not
know she was a
for me.
detective.
I'm confused.
What?
Like, what?
Yep. And who were you, Natasha?
As the movie star.
And who were you, Cindy?
I was the maid.
And who were you, Andy?
Sorry?
Who were you? What was your character?
Oh, the rival. That's what I...
The rival?
The rival's son. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I got it. Okay. And AJ, you were the gambler. We know that. Rose, what was your character?
I was a journalist.
All right. Naomi, what was your character?
Yeah, I was the mystery novelist.
Ooh. We know John was the bodyguard. Carmen, what was your character?
I was the socialite.
Ooh, that's right. And
I was
then
gonna say social worker.
Fish Guy, of course, was the marine biologist and scientist. And then we have Heidi. What was your character?
I was the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. All right. And then we got the detective.
Oh,
Wow.
thanks, Brian. Sorry, Brian. Said I've got lips to kill.
I honestly am so surprised that you guys picked her. I could have swore you guys were going to all say the fish guy because of how he was acting.
The fish guy, yeah.
I just thought it was stupid to do it.
Steve,
funny.
you
Right,
did.
yeah.
I thought about an accidental OD for swapping it out. That would I
Yeah,
would have been
right.
for it. But he was
Steve,
Yeah.
you did an awesome job, just like you said you were going to. You said that you were going to kind of do a couple different things and go a couple different ways, and you did a great job. All of you guys did an amazing job. Give yourself a round of applause. And to end this night out, we're going to, since we have a little bit of time, I want to know what your favorite 80s movie is and 80s song is. So if anybody has that right away, just go ahead and raise your hand and let it out.
Was Killer Clowns from Outer Space an 80s movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I like that
Absolutely.
movie.
Okay. Do you have a song?
I like Kiss by Prince.
Very good one. I'll tell you mine. My favorite movie. I'm a Brat Pack girl of the 80s.
Oh.
So I have a couple, but it's all in the Brat Pack. Pretty in Pink, Weird Science, The Breakfast Club,
Oh, you
St.
can't
Elmo's
steal 'em
Fire.
all.
I know, right? I'm sure everybody
Some
likes
of those
those.
might have been mine.
And my favorite song is
are the classics.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World by
I
Tears
like
for
that
Fears.
one too.
Because no matter what, that
Great song.
song has never got old and it makes you remember the times back then. So, but
I would
Raphael
say
in
mine.
is it Raphael in the chat says the Goonies and the Lost Boys?
ooh, great movies.
Those are good ones.
Great
Dude,
movies.
Lost Boy, the Hames, Corey and Cordy. Oh, License to Kill or License to Drive with
Yeah,
Corey Haim and Corey
Drive.
Feldman. Perfect movies. I love that. All right, John, what was your
Yeah,
favorite?
I was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean,
Oh.
that's by far still a classic. You know, I watched it with my kids for crying out loud, and being like, "That was your dad." Not Ferris to his degree, but I used to skip school. I used to drive to Chicago on a weekday to get some fries from
Oh,
McDonald's.
wow.
Why? I don't know, because I wanted to. And I would
Dude.
screw around in class, and I would cause all this commotion. I got kicked out a couple times, and everybody was kind of like, okay. But nobody like really got on my case, kind of like Ferris. They were like, oh, he's just a goofball. And
I love that
so
movie.
I just envisioned that movie. I'm like, I gotta be Ferris, that was a great movie. And then I am an 80s metalhead. I love
Ooh,
80s metal.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
Iron Maiden, Metallica started in the 80s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You name it, Wasp. I'm not hair metal, but I'm like Dio.
Okay, so
I'm like
you're not
all-
the Poison and
I like Motley
Crue
Crue.
and
I'm not the
Winger.
hair. I wasn't into Motley Crue. Like
Okay.
everybody was listening to Motley Crue, you would come into the high school parking lot. It was just shout at the devil. just constantly. So after a while, I was like, man, will you stop listening to Shout at
I
the
like
Devil?
Pantera.
Yeah, Pantera. Yeah, so I'm a huge 80s metals guy. So anything from the 80s with metal, I just absolutely adore those guys. And
Princess Bride, that's a good one. Sorry.
Yes, Princess
Gremlins,
Bride, definitely.
Christine, Never-Ending
Prince.
Story.
Yes, all of those are good. I remember Never Ending Story. What about you, Deborah? Do you have any favorite 80s movie and 80s song?
So 80s songs, I kind of I jam to whatever 80s music plays at all times. If it's 80s, 70s, 60s, it doesn't matter. I listen to it. And then as far as movies goes, my favorite movie is actually The Labyrinth.
That's a classic. David
Bowie,
Bowie.
of course.
I talked about that on one of my episodes.
I love it.
Yeah, we did a bunch of goblins.
I love the soundtrack. I love David
Yeah.
Bowie singing that. That's amazing. Great pick. What about you, Fishman?
Shout out to Jaws 3D, came out in 1983. But probably Back to the Future, the whole trilogy. That's had a huge impact on my life. And then by proxy, probably Huey Lewis and the News, because now I can't listen to it without thinking about Back to the Future. So I just have a love for them.
Right.
And when it's time to take my meds, like my alarm is I need a new drug by Huey Lewis and the News. So
that's a good one. All right. Okay. So Rose, do you have an 80s song or 80s movie that you liked?
Oh yeah. So I'm a huge MJ fan. So my 80s
Nice.
and my favorite movie, of course, is E.T. because
Now all of my
I love that.
How did we
I
forget
watch
that?
all the
You
time.
cried, right?
I
You
can't.
cried when E.T. died.
I still cry.
I've not even seen the whole movie because I couldn't get over the fact that he looks like a dehydrated worm.
Well,
yeah.
I was crying when he was in like they were hooked up to each other, Elliot and him, and then at the end when Gertie comes up and gives him the plant and stuff. I mean, I will bawl for the last hour of that movie, and it's only like an hour and a half. So I love it.
Rascals.
Huh? I think that was the. Was it? I thought that was in
I
like.
wasn't alive in the 80s, so I don't know.
I don't.
You
know.
weren't alive in the 80s?
No.
What about you, Danielle? What is your favorite 80s movie or 80s
Thanks
song?
for that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Wait, you weren't alive in the 80s?
No.
Oh.
I thought you were around the 80s.
Baby. I thought you were like an 88, 89.
No,
Sorry.
I was 90.
Oh, my
Oh,
sister's
okay.
91. Okay, I got you.
If I have any 80s questions, I either ask my mom or my husband because he's 23 years older than me.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Makes
So
sense.
he was born in 67.
Oh, okay. So what
So I
was your
just asked him.
favorite movie, Danielle, and favorite 80s song?
My favorite movie was either Mannequin or Can't Buy Me Love. I love those both
Dude,
equally.
Patrick Dempsey
started his career with that movie.
Yep.
I don't
then
even
went
know
straight
what
to
that
Grey's
movie is,
Anatomy.
but
I
don't
love
think-
that movie, Danielle. That's a great movie. Does anybody know just one of the guys
Yes.
from
Yep.
the 80s where she
Absolutely.
wants to be the journalist and she cuts her hair and everything?
Yeah.
That is a great movie if no one has ever watched it. So definitely do that. Who did I miss? AJ, favorite band, favorite movie.
Well, almost most of mine were taken, but for the song, I'll say I'll do "Don't You Forget About Me" by Simple Minds.
Oh,
since you said Breakfast
that's
Club.
on the Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
How can you
Breakfast
not
Club.
love it?
And movies like Back to the Future was my answer, so I'll go. I'll just say Return of the Jedi since Empire
Ooh,
Strikes
sure,
Back
Return
was
of the
an
Jedi.
80, so I'll say 83. Return of the Jedi.
That's a
Dude,
good
Star Wars will never get old for me.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
What?
Oh, get out of here.
Really?
Get out of
No-
here.
Really?
Nobody
I
has
tried.
mentioned Terminator.
I tried, but I
Nobody's
I
mentioned
don't
Terminator.
Terminator
Come
either.
on.
Now,
And the
Star
Beastie
Wars.
Boys.
I
Yeah.
tried. I really tried, but it was so fucking boring. And then
No.
I think he's screwing
Oh
his
my
sister,
God.
and I don't know what's
No.
happening.
No.
And I just was done.
No.
No.
Cancel.
Cindy?
I like RoboCop and stuff like that, and like Predator.
All right.
Cindy, what is your
That's
favorite
good.
80s
That's a good
movie and
movie.
80s song?
So my favorite all-time movie is Shining. The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
That-
good one. Good
I
one.
love that movie so much. And then Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, because I'm Cindy.
Yep.
That's a
And
perfect,
the song I
perfect
would
pick.
say with you, except my husband is a lot younger than me.
We
So,
swap.
Ooh.
Maybe
we're
we're just
opposite.
backwards.
So you mean your song isn't "Rock the Cradle of Love"?
Yeah. Hello.
Billy
And I was
Idol.
definitely,
It
and
fits.
I was raised in the 80s. I was born in
Oh,
71.
I love
I'm
Indiana
52.
Jones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm 52 and my husband's 29. So there.
Ooh.
Yep,
I
that
like
sounds about
it.
right. I'm
Good for
33
you,
and he's
Cindy.
56.
Good for
So I
you,
tell everybody
Naomi.
maybe I'm a kitten and I'm going to grow up to be a cougar.
Naomi, what is your 80s movie and 80s song?
Well, it's kind of surprising that nobody's mentioned Terminator. Nobody has, because I
Good
love
one.
Terminator. But
Great
movie.
I also had to really think about it because Legend also came out in '85,
Oh,
and
Legend.
I love
my
Legend.
God, yes.
Love that
that's
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Um,
awesome.
Yeah.
Good soundtrack
but
too.
yeah,
Ghostbusters,
right.
Seinfeld.
There you
I
see,
love
yeah.
Seinfeld.
But for favorite like song, I'm a really big Aerosmith fan, so I just typed because since our party took place in 1985, my favorite Aerosmith song from 1985 is "Back in the Saddle." So
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a
good song.
great pick.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
that's a good
song.
One of
I can't wait
Aerosmith's
for
that-
90s week when I can actually know what's happening.
girl, I'm the
Andy?
same age as you. I'm the same age as you. I had to think about things.
Yeah, you have a phone friend.
Andy, what is your favorite 80s song and 80s movie?
My favorite 80s song, I would pick either two of them. I Ran So Far Away by
I love that
Flock
one.
of Seagulls.
Flock of
Flock of
Seagulls.
Seagulls, yeah.
It's a great song. And I and that one, and also 99 Red Balloons by
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Nina.
I
Yeah,
love the
Nina.
story of that song. I mean, it says that Third World War started due to some balloons being released
Yep.
and the military just confusing
Yep.
everything. And I was an 89 baby, so I
Those were close.
I barely experienced the 80s, so I experienced
You
them
guys missed it.
through a video game.
Yeah, I was 88.
I know. I'm so upset.
Through a video game called Grand Theft Auto Vice City, so I got all the good music.
I don't play that
through,
either.
through
Mhm.
that game. It has really good music, so both of those songs are there, and it's a good game. So, and regarding movies, I would go for the trilogy of Indiana Jones.
Oh,
I
of
love Indiana
course.
Jones. I know one.
I kind of tried to embody that Indiana Jones. I tried to be Indiana Jones when I was very little. I used to play to that, so I mean
That's perfect.
I can see that. I
Very
can see
cool.
that with
Cindy,
you.
what's your husband's
Heck
name?
yeah.
got my whole conspiracy thing going with that.
Right.
Nice.
As an adult, yeah. But yeah, a great trilogy and great songs.
And Heidi, did I get to you yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I would say Real Genius for the movie.
Val
I
Kilmer.
love that
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yep, I love Val Kilmer and Money for Nothing.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
Dire Straits.
Yes. I like that one.
that was like the theme for MTV.
Yeah,
like
that was
for
it.
the
Played it
longest
all the
time.
Yeah.
Who
Wow.
misses the real MTV? I know I do.
Yeah, so do
I
I.
miss
You-
watching MTV.
Cindy, I
Yeah.
miss
The
the
real.
80s. Just in
Yeah, so
general.
do I.
Yeah.
Such
Yeah.
a better time. Everything was
Oh,
simpler.
Yeah.
You know, people
Yep.
had friends, not followers. And that's why I wanted to
Yes.
do this thing, you know, to get all of us together and actually do things with people. You know,
Yeah.
this
And I
no
had-
one does this anymore. You
Yeah.
know?
I had
Yeah.
And people
I had-
used to go to the theaters too. You know,
Right.
like that was your big
Yes.
thing to do is on a Friday night, you got with your friends and you went to the theater. You know,
Right.
even if you didn't have
Yeah.
friends, you were just like, I'm just going to show up and you make some friends. It was
Remember
like,
talking
yeah.
on the landline until like 2 a.m?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No, because
You
my
were
mom would have
first.
beat my ass with that landline if she saw me on the phone at 2 a.m.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can
Oh,
tell
that
I can
stretched
tell you
across
this.
the
Life
room.
life was also easier for me during the 80s because I had I was using
You were just getting your
diapers
butt wiped.
Yeah.
You were just puking and getting your butt wiped.
So comfortable.
It was all titties and diapers for you, man.
Yeah.
Best 80s ever.
Not worrying at all. Yeah.
Well, we are going to close this out with a big thank you to, again, all of our panel of special guests, Natasha, Cindy, Andy, AJ, Rose, Naomi, John, Deborah, Steve, Heidi, Danielle. I hope you guys, I know a lot of you have already checked other shows to be on, and let me tell you, I got some really good shows coming up. So
you have no idea how excited I am. This makes my week.
Well, now I know what it's like. I'm going to be more prepared.
Yeah. Except
I was nervous.
No.
The downside is I think I'm going to spend an hour washing the hairspray out.
Like this. This is awesome.
That's like I said, no one's doing this anymore. No one has friends anymore. You just like talk through social media and stuff. So I wanted to do something where it brings people together.
Thank you.
Give some people some good content on YouTube for free, just to see, instead of fake paranormal investigating and kids wanting to get rich quick.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
right.
Farrah, I was going to show you my earrings. I got my special earrings I wore, and they say thick thighs and spooky vibes.
Ooh, I
Nice.
like
Hell
that.
yeah.
And they're little like coffin shapes.
I like it.
And I
Hell
hope
yeah.
to see you guys all again. If you want to look at your form of the dates that you selected to see if you want to do any more, you can open up the same form, refill it out, and I'll get an email again. So other than that too, I want to thank all of our Sinister Seekers and After Hours crew for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed everything with playing along, and I can't wait to see you on the next show. So say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.